Well, hello there everybody, and welcome to another new little video. It's been a little while. I had a little bit of an accident in November, back in beginning of November. Yep. I ended up slipping on a leaf outside my front door and basically falling all the way down our front deck stairs, managing to break 3 bones, elbow, wrist and hand. So I've just come out of my cast and I'm now in a splint for a while I continue my recovery. It's going to be a few months before I'm fully recovered, apparently. It's been an interesting couple of months. So it's been a little bit tough to do a lot of art, but something I have been doing lately is I'm calling it kind of meditative sketching and painting. And it's basically, it's so simple. So it's kind of along these lines here. So basically what I do is I paint circles in various colours, and then I sketch into them once they're dry. And honestly, it's been a wonderful way for me to kind of take my mind off of the pretty intense pain that I've been experiencing lately, and also try not to get too political here, but just the state of affairs here at the moment and around the world, and it's just heartbreaking to see how things are going. It's hard, and as I'm sure many of you are feeling the same way, it's sometimes difficult to find a way to distract yourself a little bit from what's going on. So my way of dealing with that is through art and nature, of course, as you well know, and doing the best I can to help others, being around my wonderful hubby and my kitty cats and friends. And you can't see her, but Koru is trying to get under her blanket right now next to me. So do you want to go under there, my darling? There you go. There you go. You go snuggle in. Oh. My constant companions in my little studio here. It's very sweet. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I do my little meditative paintings and sketches. The trick with this is not really to think about it too much, and so I'll just show you how I do it. So basically here I have a little 3x3 inch watercolour square, £140. I'm using today my Derwent Inktense pencils. I've only just started using these and they are rather fun. I like the way that they blend into one another when you sketch and paint with them. I also have a little palette of the actual paints, but I haven't used those yet. I thought I would try the pencils first. So what we're going to do is just basically take a colour that you feel you really like. I like to do a pretty light colour in the middle, and we're going to just very lightly, we don't have to press too hard because the colours are really quite intense. So that's the centre of my little circle here. Okay, let's see, let's pop. So that one was cadmium orange. I'm going to use the fuchsia next for my next little layer on my circle here. There is something about going around in circles that just feels quite calming. It's like when you do spirals. I love doing spirals too. Next colour I'm going to choose is the olivine green. So let's do the next, and we're just going to go round and round, just filling in the space. There we go. And the next colour I'm going to choose is thistle. So let's pop some thistle around here. It's kind of fun just picking all the different colours that you think might go together, and it's whatever speaks to you at the time of your creation. So there we go. Let's do another colour here. I'm going to go with poppy red for the next one. And we're going to just, again, go round and just gently fill that space with the colour that you've picked. And it might not look much now, but when you add the water to these, it looks really lovely. And then I'm going to do one more little circle, and I'm going to use sea breeze. This is such a pretty colour. I really like the sea breeze, so that's kind of a nice one to finish the edge with. There we go. And you wouldn't think that some of these colours would go together, but they actually do. And you can just experiment and go with your feeling and go with your gut feeling on what you feel might work for you. Okay, so I'm going to pop those back in my little cup there. So this is the little sketchy bit. The next bit, I find this the really fun part. Well, this and the sketching on top of it. So I'm going to take a round brush. This is a number 5, and this is a little bigger than I normally do. And you want to have a decent amount of water on here. And we're going to start in the middle, and you're going to gently drop some water in the middle, and then really gently kind of go around at the circle and around the edges so they blend. And then what happens is the colours will start running into one another, and add more water to your brush as you feel you need. And take your time, it doesn't have to be a rush. I love watching how the colours kind of melt into one another. It's just really a beautiful thing to watch. Okay, and then I'm going to add a bit more water and go round again. And make sure you try and get those edges blended. You don't want any harsh edges. You want this to be kind of melty and fluid, if that if that makes any sense. Okay. I find this very relaxing. It's just a soothing thing to do. It's a lovely way to just engage your mind in something that's just relaxing and meditative. I'm just going to pop a little bit more water up here. There we go. Now, to add even more fun to this, of course, I'm going to add a little bit of metallic. So I'm going to take my little starry watercolours here. I'm going to use the number 903, which is the lovely shimmery gold. I'm going to add plenty of water to this, and then just pick up some of that gold, and we're going to drop some of that in the middle, and we're going to kind of do a swirl. And it's kind of nice if your paint is still, you know, pretty wet, because then the gold kind of melts into your painting too. There we go. And so there you go. If you can see, I'm going to move it as much as I can. So you've got your shimmery gold, you've got all your beautiful colours in there, and now it needs to dry before you sketch on it. What I'm going to do is pop this one aside. I actually have some prepared ones from earlier, so let me pick one that's kind of similar. So this is one I painted earlier, and now we're going to do the fun bit, which is the getting the white pen in there and sketching. And this one I really like. I like the leaves on this one. So again, it's not something you need to think too much about. I'm just going to take a sip of my tea. Okay, so got my trusty Uniball white gel pen here. So I've got to just get that ink flowing a little, because it sometimes takes a bit of getting going. Okay, so let's see. Let's do some dots and dashes. So we're going to go around the outer edge here, and we're going to do some dots. There we go. What I love about these is that you can even sit with your feet up on the sofa. You don't need to have lots of space to do these. You could go into a coffee shop or a cafe, get your favourite beverage and just sit and relax, paint and sketch, and then just enjoy the moment, because we really do need to do that. We need to look after our mental health. It's so important. It really is. And I'm so grateful for everything. My garden, my beautiful husband, and my beautiful kitties, and my beautiful friend, and just everything. Okay, so I've done the outer edge, and then I'm going to kind of take the white pen and do a little... Oops, the ink needs to come out again. Come on, ink. Come on. See, you're relaxing too much now, ink pen. You need to work for me right now. And then we're going to just... Something I've noticed about these white pens is that you kind of don't want to press too hard on the paper, otherwise the ink just won't come out for some reason. There we go. And I actually kind of like it when it breaks up like this, because it adds a bit more texture, and it looks a little more interesting. And we'll just do it. There we go. So the next thing I'm going to do is, let's do some more little dots around let's do a spiral in the middle. So I'm going to start off with a little dot in the middle, get the ink going, and don't press too hard, and then just do your spiral in the center of your circle here. There we go. And then I think what I'm going to do next is what I kind of did on my larger one. See, let me take my black pen. There we go. Let's do some, make sure I've got the ink flowing there. So I'm going to just go like this, and a little leaf, and a little leaf here. And we're just going to continue that around. And I'm just going to turn this. I always need to add some kind of element of nature, don't I? Trees, leaves, flowers. And then let's just join those up there. And then what I'm going to do next is take my white pen. This might not look great, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to fill those leaves in with the white here. And again, don't press too hard, because that helps the ink flow more. Something I realized a while ago. Okay, and we're going to just kind of color in these outlines of the leaves with the white gel pen. And then one more after this one. So I hope you all had a lovely holiday season and a very happy new year to you all. A bit late, but better late than never. Okay, so I'm going to just give this a little blow to kind of dry the ink so we can put the leaf details in there. It doesn't take too long to dry. And then I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let those leaves dry a little bit more, because what I'll do while they're drying is get my little gold pen here, my Uniball gold, and I'm going to go around the edge and do tiny little gold dots in the middle of the white dots. And again, it's just to add that extra little bit of texture, really, visual texture. And then what I might do here is go little dotty dots around the edge here. There we go. The gold looks really good when you put it on top of the white. There we go. Let's do a couple more here. I love these pens. They're just so much fun to add like highlights. And I think I'm going to leave it white in the middle there. So the next thing I'm going to do is, shall I use gold or black? I'm going to use the gold, I think. Let's see how that works out. We're going to go into the leaves and just add little leaf detail. I think the gold's a bit too thick, but that's okay. Maybe the black would have been better, but you know what? You've got to try these things. I'm not sure about this one now. Not sure about the leaves, but you know, we're just going to go with it. Yeah, they're okay. Okay, I think I might leave it at that. Actually, one more thing I might do is just go around the edge a little with my white pen here. There we go. Just to kind of finish it off. This might not look fantastic, but you know, I've enjoyed making it, and that's the main goal. Enjoy what you do. Just make the most of it. And you know, I think I know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to just do, there we go. On the little black lines there, we're going to do little white dots. This is looking a bit bonkers now, isn't it? Oh well. Maybe that's where my head is today. My head is feeling bonkers today. I'm definitely going to stop now. Okay, well, there you go. My leaves, I think because they're not as big as my original one, I'll show you the original one again. I think because this was a slightly bigger painting, the gold on the leaves showed up a lot better. This is a much smaller one, so I think next time, instead of doing the gold on the leaves, I'll just stick with the black because it's a super fine pen. But you know, they really are really quite fun to make, and you know, it's such a nice way to just enjoy some time, some creative time, and it's such an easy way to do that. Well, I will leave it there for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're all doing well. I'm sending so much love out to everybody, and I will be back again soon. Bye for now, everyone. Bye.